Alright, Shalom, Shalom. Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Recha Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles of the Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well, who teach well. Peace and salutations to the elect. Enough respect to your brothers pushing this gospel throughout the four corners of this earth and on the highways and byways. Abba Ratazar, Father willing, this lesson is edifying. So, yeah, you know what month it is. We're nearly out of it anyway, okay? The Alphabet Lifestyle Pride Parade, man. You got naked marches in front of children. It's absolutely sick, disgusting, and diabolical. I'm not even going to play the video. You see what it is. You see. Oh, it's just nasty. See? So I ain't going to play anything. Alright? Remember, I'm severely allergic to this abnormal behavior. You see, this is the reason why the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, needs to bring brutal judgment upon, Babylon the Great. Alright? Okay? And take E out of power. Alright? All these wicked people, man, need to be judged. Alright? 2/3 in Babylon the Great as well. Of our people need to be judged. These heathens need to be judged. Okay? All these heathen rulerships need to be put down for good. Alright? This wicked vibration is just all throughout the earth, man. It stems from America. Okay? It's not the first nor second time, right, they've done a nude march in front of kids. But this is the direction things are leading towards. Alright? Extreme perverseness is what they're pushing, man. People with no clothes casually strolling down the street. In the West, don't they like to say, oh, we're civilized, we're so far ahead. This is backwards. This is uncivilized, actually. And I'll have to be cautious in what I say when I talk about these things. You know what they're like. It's a touchy subject. Even though it's flipping disgusting. So this type of weirdo lifestyle is in complete opposition to the ways of the Heavenly Father. Alright? Let's get the book of the prophet Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 9. Okay? Because the Christians, you ain't going to hear peep from them condemning this. Alright? Not from the Catholic Church. Well, they're in league with it anyway. Alright? Certainly nothing from Vocab Malone. Isaiah chapter 3. Alright? And verse 9 in the New King James Version. Alright? And it reads, and Lord willing, this lesson won't be long, alright? And it reads, the look on their countenance, right, you know how, on your face, witnesses against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They do not hide it. Woe, meaning destruction to their soul, for they have brought evil upon themselves. You see? So this is a perfect example of this. Alright, back in the past, they had to, hide the fact that there was GAY or whatever, alright? Or else they'd be, punished, or, they'd be treated badly. Which you shouldn't be GAY anyway, okay? But now they can openly declare their sin and flipping be excited about it. Alright? And the world will reward them, okay? And say you're brave, or you've done a wonderful thing, you're so smart, you can, educate others about this, as if that's... The education is in the scriptures. Alright? Man should not lie with man like he does a woman. Alright? Loosely paraphrasing Leviticus 20 and 13. Alright? We'll get that later. Okay? That's the education right there. And you got people that talk about, oh, let's get educated about it. As if this is supposed to be, as if man with man supposed to be normalized behavior. Alright? But whatever seems to be normal is easy to make legal. Alright? Especially once gradually, how Eve does gradually. Alright? Brings these things in. And then it becomes a norm of the society. Alright? And the dominant society accepts it. You see? Yeah, so now they're just open with it. They have the bleeding pride thing, June, Pride Month, innit? Okay, so they're all out of it now. They're all gallivanting with their folly and their foolery and their disgusting ways, man. And you can't even do nothing about it. Can't even be a proper man in this society. It's a damn shame, man. It's vexing. You see? So yeah, they openly declare their freakish lifestyle, man. Okay, their batty man behavior, trans, all sorts, bi, got all these different type of sexuals now. Damn disgusting, man. You see, so that's why evil is coming to them. Okay, this should not be legal. let's go to Leviticus. This is in the law, right? Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. All right. Let's get this in another translation, man. All right. Get a New King James Version and the NLT as well. It reads, if a man lies with a male as he lies with a woman, right? Not, we know what that means, right? Actually have coitus, okay? If a man also lies with a male as he lies with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination, right? Abomination is something disgusting, all right? They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. NLT, if a man practices homosexuality, having sex with another man as with a woman, both men have committed a detestable act. They must both be put to death, for they are guilty of a capital offence. Clear, plain, simple as day. Right? Remember, this is the law, by the way. The Lord himself said this. He knows what he's doing. Alright? And here we have E trying to patronize the Most High and do everything contrary to the Holy Bible. And like to twist the word. And you know what it's like. Alright? Yeah. God-fearing country, God-fearing people. Yeah, right. So-called God-fearing. Alright? So yeah, this act is punishable by death, man. Okay? And it's it's everywhere. They advertise it everywhere. It's in every. They have and they use the flipping rainbow, right? Which is a covenant between the Lord, a man that won't flood the earth again with water, right? Okay. And they've took the rainbow, hijacked it, and used it for the pride thing. You see, it's all up in your workplace. You know, we don't discriminate against pride. That people, the alphabet people, and stuff like that. You can't escape it. Probably have murals on walls and on billboards, and it's just everywhere, man. Commercials, advertisements, everywhere. Okay, you see, it's everywhere. It's like you can't escape it. And obviously we're in June, so they prop it up even more. Okay, and you've got openly alternative lifestyle priests and pastors and preachers, man. Crazy. Hey, look, these are people in those positions that claim to believe in the scriptures, all right, but preach and do opposite of what the Bible commands. They're supposed to be in a responsible position where they're supposed to be um representing the Lord, and look what they're doing. That's why judgment is going to come to them too. All right. Weird, man. You see, crazy, crazy, man. Hypocrites and liars. Let's go from there to the book of Jude, which is a biological brother of Yahushai. There's a lot of apostasy in these days as well. All right. Go to verse 7. And it reads, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them, in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. All right, and we know what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, that led to its destruction. All right, and the neighboring cities as well, man. All right, the Lord rained down fire and brimstone. Okay, and of course it's not on fire today. All right. Of course, that fire died out, a long time ago. But that backward lifestyle is an example of how not to live, not to carry on doing it. All right, because two men cannot produce children, and two women cannot produce children. You need a plug and a socket. All right. Diseases comes from same-sex marriages because it's unnatural. I want you to take down this video. And if you go out there and say that out of road, oh dear, man, they crucify you. They would. Oh my days, man. You probably get attacked, jumped, or say all sorts of bad things about you. Even though it's a Christian country, but they legalize homosexuality, yeah. Mate, that makes sense. So you're free to say, what you like because they have freedom of speech and all that democracy. But once you say something that's so-called free and condemns their wrongdoing, that's when they criminalize you. All right. Let's go from there to the book of 2 Peter, precept there, chapter 2. Get this in New King James Version. All right. And it reads, 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 6, New King James Version, it reads, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them to destruction, making them an example to those who afterward would live ungodly. You see that? Verse 7, and delivered righteous Lot, who was oppressed by the filthy conduct of the wicked. Okay? King James Version says, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. You see, Lot and his 2 daughters were delivered, but the wife looked back and thus became a pillar of salt. Okay? But when you get the word conversation, it should be anastrophe in the Greek. Alright?
Strong's G391. Anastrophe.
Right. Manner of life, conduct, behavior, deportment. You see? Alright? So it's not just what they were actually saying, but their manner of life, their behavior, their conduct was abominable. Alright? And those same spirits back then are here again doing the same things over again. Okay, there's nothing new under the sun, man. History repeats itself. Okay? You see? You see that? So yeah? They may have even committed bestiality back then, like they do nowadays. And that is against the scriptures, man. Vocab Malone doesn't condemn this filthy behavior, does he? Okay? Verse 8, New King James Version reads, for that righteous man dwelling among them tormented his righteous soul from day to day by seeing and hearing their lawless deeds. You see that? Lot was angry and all that, man. He was angry, vexed. Alright? Fuming at that wicked lifestyle. You could imagine, man. Lot had a righteous spirit about him, man. Right? Constantly hearing and seeing moles everywhere would be vexing indeed. And we're vexed at it too, man. We're coming in that same spirit. Right? It tormented him, man. You see? Now little children are exposed to these things, man. Grown ass individuals with no clothes on. Trans teachers in schools as well. Oh, they're exalting this. This way, it's going to get crazier and crazier and crazier. A society that is not God-fearing means sin becomes rampant everywhere. Hence the reason why the Most High will bring about judgment. Just wait and see. Remember, they wanted to have relations with the angels, man. The ones that Lot took into his home. Those angels were men. See that? They wanted to have sex with the angels. Right? It wasn't just Sodom and Gomorrah. There were 3 other neighboring cities engaging in those vile acts as well. Alright? Altogether, Sodom, Gomorrah, Zoar, Zeboim, and Admah 5. Alright? Okay. Yeah. June. I used to like June, because of, summertime and all that. But now it's hijacked by pride, man. So through the spring, I'm just turned off. You see? But we don't love our lives here anyway. We're in captivity. What do you expect? But yeah, we're nearly out of June anyway. Okay. Go to the book of Genesis. Chapter 13, verse 13. Because I want to know what I'm saying. If what I'm saying is wrong, prove otherwise. Alright. Genesis 13, verse 13, and it reads, but the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord, Yahweh, exceedingly. See? So here we are in the future and people still, behaving like this is okay. People out here, conducting their folly. Alright? That's why judgment is right for this type of living. And why do you think there's other countries that don't want this Batman behavior there? Alright? And America wants all these other countries to do that, to be like that. Right? Endorse this foolishness, man, this filthy, backwards, wayward lifestyle. Okay? Put all men on one island, they ain't gonna multiply. Put all women on one island alone, they ain't gonna multiply. Okay? They'll die off after a while. Initiative, use it. You see? So yeah, this is all part and parcel of us living in the last days, man. Right? These signs and tokens that proves that we're in the last days. End of a society, man. Especially when sex is so super glorified. Alright? But men lovers of themselves. Okay? Sex is normal. Right? The Bible does say to be fruitful and multiply. Alright? In righteousness. Okay? But when, these devils twist it and make it evil. you know what comes from that, don't we? But yeah, the Lord ain't gonna let this carry on for much longer, man. All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. All right, Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. We're reading it NKJV first, and it says, "Because the sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil." NLT, when a crime is not punished quickly, people feel it is safe to do wrong. Alright? So just because the Most High hasn't judged the wicked straight away doesn't mean that they will get away scot-free. They're not going to get away with their crimes. Right? If the punishment was executed right away, people would think twice before doing something wicked because they would fear the consequences of it, of their actions. So if they're wise, they would do anything to avoid doing evil. Okay? Okay? Some people, commit Leviticus 20 and 13 and nothing bad happens to them immediately. Alright? But, if they're doing it in a country that calls it legal, then of course they don't have to worry about, getting locked up for it. You see? But they know if they were to jump off a high building right away, they're going to reap the effects of that because that sentence will be executed straight away. It's not like there's a lag time in between jumping off a building to the ground. You just hang in the air for a little while. Yeah, you know that you're gonna just fall and die. Okay? You see? Now, if it was set up that if someone was to lay with an animal and they were struck by lightning, as soon as that happened, right, and it was a guaranteed thing, and that would happen all over, and people knew it, then very, very, very few people would commit such a disgusting act. They'd be fearful. You see? Right? But in due time, Yahweh Shem Yahshai knows how to, when to deliver judgment. Okay. Let's go to the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 21. And it reads, "The Lord Yahweh is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable." See, that's right. And the law of the Most High was, is, and always will be perfect. The law, statutes, and commandments of the scriptures are perfect, man. Okay? And that'll never change. Right? And that's going to be putting out, inward parts, man. Okay? It's not done away with. It never was and never will be. That's actually going to be instituted in the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. You think all this LB, alphabet stuff will be in the kingdom? Think again. You see, because right now, these messed up people, they like to act all ignorant that there's no... Sorry, they like to act all ignorant that there's so much evil in the earth, right? They like to just pretend like there's not much evil going on when it's everywhere, okay? But as soon as you mention the judgment of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, all of a sudden that's the most wickedest thing in the world. As if the Lord is wrong. As if the Lord shouldn't do something like that. Bring judgment. But all you do when you look around, all you see is following wickedness everywhere. And there's many reasons why the Lord is to judge. And why wouldn't you want that? I'm amazed at that, honestly. But yeah, these people are going to learn, man. Okay? So yeah. YouTube. GAY people must take a stand against predatory. Oh yeah. Not family friendly, whatever. And these people have a lot of demons on them. They are the demons themselves. GAY man and police justify nudity in front of children at San Francisco Pride Parade. Alright? If the Lord don't come back, then no flesh will be saved, man. Look, I'm gonna end the lesson there, man. Kal halal Yahweh Shem Yahshai B'Shem Kurash forevermore. Shalom to the elect as always. Alright? And Lord willing, this was edifying, uplifting, and encouraging. Alright? Especially for you new people coming in. Alright? Whoever's watching and listening. So, yeah. Mawaf Lababal, of course. Shalom. Till the next show.